Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me as always is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It's March 3rd, 2000.
You almost did it. It is 2000.
It's 3 months into the year 2000.
I get it, though. It's, it's a bigger change than we're used to.
Yeah, it's been 10 years of 1990, and it's been our entire lives of 19.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's
crazy. It's craziness. But you know what else is craziness? Eddie Waitkus is craziness. The episode title is Eddie Waitkus. And I guess if you're a big fan of the book The Natural, the book that the Robert Redford movie The Natural was based on, and the actual real life story behind it, but not as crazy as the movie, because in the movie, if you take the fictional world of the movie, Roy Hobbs, The Natural, is probably the greatest athlete to ever live.
Okay.
Or at least the best in his chosen sport to ever, fictionally. I don't know, maybe Gordon Bombay, the hockey player from the Mighty Ducks, because he scored 193 goals or something like that in 10 games or whatever it was.
So if you're wondering what the hell this has to do with 90210, just hang in there because it'll all make sense.
It'll all make sense eventually, I guess. Although I didn't fully, this episode barely makes sense to me.
The whole thing, huh?
I don't understand why they're doing this. I speculated that this might be the case years ago. Remember? Years ago yes. I said this?
Because you're very smart, yes.
And I gave up on the idea of it ever happening because it's been so long. And, Dylan left the show.
Yeah.
And it's so who cares? But now he's back, and I guess they're trying to give him something to do.
Well, I feel like they left that door open, but they weren't sure they were ever going to do this. And it's just the opportunity presented itself. And they're like, oh, yeah, remember that door we left open? Mm-hmm. Let's use that.
Let our horrible writing instincts open the door. But anyway, so where do you want to go? Because, obviously there's the Dylan storyline. There is the Donna storyline. There's the David storyline. David storyline. And then there's Kelly.
You choose. Dealer's choice.
All right, let's go with Kelly first then.
Okay.
The one I care the least about. Kelly has started her work at the... You're looking at me because you're like, I don't know what it is.
I've got a headache, guys. I'm trying here.
Kelly has started her work at the PR firm.
Oh, yeah.
And she has to... It's always nice when you when you remember things that we're talking about.
Isn't it great? I know I'm the greatest.
She has to defend defunding gay rights clubs in high schools because they're a public menace.
Yeah. And
she changes Janet's opinion, which I think says something about Janet and how wishy-washy she is.
Or, I guess maybe they're trying to say that Kelly's just that, good of a writer or whatever.
I guess. That's not evidence in anything she's ever done or said.
No, I can't imagine that. She can't be that persuasive.
No. But they're trying to, like I said, get rid of these, gay clubs in high schools, and she doesn't want to do it. The thing is, she comes in and she says to her boss, she's like, hey, can we talk? And she's like, oh, maybe tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then they go right into their meeting of, she couldn't just say right then without a meeting, I'm not comfortable with this. This goes against what I believe.
Well, I guess it depends on your office dynamics.
Sure.
If the boss says they don't have time to talk to you, you're not going to be like, no, fucking listen to me.
But she could have just said what I just said in 3 seconds. They were walking and talking together. She could have said, I'm not comfortable with doing this. Can I be on something else?
She could have. She didn't. Because she apparently thought it'd be a longer conversation.
Yeah, me too. Her and I have that in common.
So Kelly does the thing she didn't want to do. She does it real well, and she doesn't like it. So she doesn't like her job. Do you remember when Kelly used to be on cocaine? Because
yes,
I feel like that fit her character so much better than this.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have anything to say about this?
No, because I don't care either.
What side are you on? Do you want gay clubs eliminated from schools?
Of course not. That would be stupid. Kids need to be able to connect.
Yep. What's weird to me? Are you okay? What is going on?
I'm fine. I'm just having a little...
Maybe take a sip of water or something.
Tickle in my throat.
Shit. Oh, my God. Anyway, that's just a few of the coughs. I edited out so many coughs, everyone.
I'm getting over the flu.
What I think's weird about this whole situation is, she does it. Like, first of all, she writes a speech that apparently sucks. And her boss is like, this sucks. And she says, listen, Kelly, this is the job. We were hired to do this. We're not... Our personal beliefs don't matter at all about this. She's like, from my perspective, I agree with you. I think they should be allowed to have gay clubs and stuff like that, but I don't care. Like, she's like, that's not the job. The job is to produce for the person that's paying us, is what she says. And so Kelly does that, and they go to vote. And when they go to vote, Matt's like, oh, I love democracy. You just go and vote in someone's garage. I thought they were going to a garage sale. There's like a garage that's open with tables, and people apparently are going up to the those like white folding tables that you use for garage sales. Mm-hmm. And people are going up to vote. Is this a California thing?
I was wondering that too, because in Michigan, we vote at schools.
You wouldn't vote outdoors in November in Michigan.
That's a good point.
Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, we vote in schools. Now, it's not any more like sophisticated.
No, it's a gym
with folding tables.
Folding tables in a gym.
Yeah. But
doing it in someone's garage just seems so weird. That seems so sketchy.
Yeah. Yes. It's like when we bought a puppy out of a guy's van in the parking lot of the Kroger. Or the Kmart, I mean. And he ended up being like mentally handicapped.
What?
It's sketchy.
How could you not? What the fuck? Am I supposed to know about this?
I thought you did. When I was a child.
Oh my God.
We bought a puppy from a guy in the Kmart parking lot.
Yeah, and it had a helmet on it. And the van was super short. There were indications that there was something mentally wrong with this puppy.
Well, he was the only one in the litter with blue eyes.
That is an indication in puppies.
Is it?
Yes.
And we named him Blue Boy. And he was the sweetest, stupidest dog. And he kept accidentally hurting me.
He's like Lenny of Mice and Men. It's the reverse. Instead of killing a puppy, that's just...
My parents sent him to a farm, but it was a real farm.
For mentally handicapped dogs.
And they got an update on him, and they said
what's that fire in the barn?
They said he was...
Why does that smoke smell like fur?
My God.
Yeah, go ahead.
They said he was working on chewing down the barn. That totally made sense for that dog. So, yeah.
A mentally handed... let me ask you a question. When he barked, was it like...
Stop it!
I'm not making fun of mentally handicapped people. Your voices all sound normal. I assume that our audience is about 90% mentally handicapped.
That would explain some things.
Anyway, no, we love you, audience.
We adore you.
But if you like 90210...
Well,
you might have blue eyes. That's all I'm going to say.
I have blue eyes, guys.
So do I. Don't I?
No.
What color are my eyes?
They are green or hazel.
Okay.
They're not typically. I mean,
There's no brown in my eyes.
They turn blue. Well, they go from blue to green, I guess. But they're more green usually.
Oh, interesting.
I wouldn't say you're a blue-eyed. Is that what it says on your license?
Blue-eyed boy. It does say yes. It says blue. because they ask you. They don't do it. They're like, what color are your eyes?
And you said blue.
Yeah.
I think your eyes are green.
All right.
Beautiful eyes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This has been Eyes Theater. So they vote, and it looks
lost in your eyes. Sorry.
It looks like the initiative's going to pass. That the gay people are going to get beaten again.
Oh my god. Yeah. So Kelly did, the work of the devil,
and she goes in and quits.
Are we supposed to feel sorry for her?
I don't care.
I don't feel sorry for her.
But that is her storyline for this
her
episode.
Stupid storyline. She should have stated, "Now wear this" or whatever.
Yeah. Now wear this is co-owned by a person that was supposed to be a reporter. I don't like. It's like they're replacing Kelly. Before, is she supposed to be replacing Gina? I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. But all of a sudden, this reporter is now working at the clothing store.
It's stupid.
She sounds like a bad reporter.
Why can't they, if they want her to be a character, why can't they just have her be David's girlfriend?
I don't know. I mean, she is.
But I mean, that should be enough. They don't need to give her a job at Now Wear This.
You want to talk about David's storyline?
Sure.
This is the Three's Company portion of the fucking 90210
This is
show.
so dumb. So, yeah.
This is 100% something that would happen on Three's Company.
Yes. Except, I did not necessarily. My mind is a little cleaner, I guess, than some people's, because I didn't go there. But David overhears.
All the ladies are in a bedroom talking.
Yeah, they're all talking, and they're rubbing.
They're rubbing each other.
They're sitting on a bed, and they're rubbing this soft, fur coat or blanket or whatever.
Yeah, it's a fur coat, I think.
And talking about having had them.
Yeah, and I think, who is it? I think so. It's the girlfriend, David's girlfriend, whose name I can't remember, the blonde reporter woman, and then it's Janet, and it's Tori Spelling / Donna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Donna said that Noah gave her one that was smaller than she would have liked.
Yeah, Noah gave her one that was
spoiled
smaller.
Brat. She's so spoiled.
And the girlfriend's like, "Oh, I've only ever had fake ones. I've never had a real one." And Janet's like, "Oh, Janet's the one that says Steve's only ever given me small ones."
Oh, okay.
And Donna was like, "Well, don't expect David to give you any. No, don't expect David to give you any of them, because it's not going to happen." And he's listening, and he's thinking they're talking about orgasms.
Yeah, I didn't think orgasms. I mean, I knew he was going to misunderstand, but I thought maybe they were talking about or he would think jewelry or something.
Sure.
I don't know, but I did not think orgasms.
Yeah. So the weirdest part is they come out of the room and he's still just standing right by the door. They all walk past him like they don't notice him, and I'm thinking come on, are you seriously? They're not going to notice him standing there? And then his girlfriend turns and looks, and he's like, "What? I wasn't listening." And she was like, "Listening to what?"
Which is stupid.
The thing you were talking about, you idiot.
What else would he have been listening to?
And she's like, "You're weird," and then walks away.
That's a normal response.
But now David thinks that he's apparently never given Donna an orgasm, because didn't they have sex or no?
Yeah, they did. They had lots of sex.
So that they didn't he didn't give Donna an orgasm because Donna's so convinced that he's not going to give her an orgasm, and that she's never had an orgasm, only fake orgasms.
Yeah, that's a weird situation to go into sex thinking.
Right.
Because his confidence would have to be hurt, too.
I would think so. But they go into this candlelight date in front of the fireplace, and apparently David thinks that she needs extra attention. to have an orgasm. I don't know what that means exactly.
Oh, he went down on her.
I mean, I've guesses, but
I'm sure that's what it is.
well, the funny thing too is he talks to Matt and Steve about this beforehand, and he's like, what should I do or whatever? She's only had fake orgasms. This is like nerve wracking. And Steve's like, oh, you need advice. Like they're gonna give him sex advice. They're in their 20s. Like what?
What do you? I don't understand.
It's weird to me. I would not give sex advice to another guy at our age now.
Well, I think you're qualified.
I'm not saying I'm not qualified, but I'm saying like it wouldn't occur to me to be like, hey, you need advice from me. Like,
I don't know. When I was a teenager, I got sex advice from people in their 20s.
Yes, I mean, I might give a teenager sex advice, but I wouldn't give another adult sex advice.
Everyone's different. Everyone's sexual journey is different.
I guess, but like at this point, they've all had a lot of experience, so it's like you should kind of figure shit out on your own. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It seems weird to me.
You know why it seems weird to you? Because you're a guy.
I guess.
And these are guys, so whatever, maybe it is weird. But like women talk about stuff like this all the time.
And I think it's gleeful how Matt and he are like so happy about it. Like they're so. Did I use the wrong words? I think it's funny how gleeful they are about it. Like it's weird how they're both like, oh, haha, we're gonna give you advice. What did they tell him?
I don't know, but I think they think that they're better in bed than him, and that's what was making them happy.
Well, I guess, but Steve only gave Janet small ones or whatever. Well, Steve hasn't had sex in forever, apparently.
Yeah, twice in 5 months.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess that's what happens when you have a new baby.
Scary thought. Scary thought.
But they have sex, and apparently she has like 4 orgasms or something like that. He said.
Yeah, he's all smiley the next day and telling all his friends about her.
He's like, okay, it was good.
Orgasms.
He's like, oh, it's good advice. I guess it was really good advice or whatever. And Steve's like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, he's like, I was great. I was fantastic. Like, who talks about themselves like that?
He wants to live vicariously through Dave.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of fucked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you telling your friends how many orgasms you gave me.
I don't.
But I'm saying, like, that's too much. That's too
I
high.
don't talk about sex with my guy friends. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm weird, but maybe that's why I think this whole thing's weird, because I don't talk about sex with my guy friends. I'm not like, I mean,
at all.
In vagaries, like, if you start dating someone new, I mean, not now because we're married, but like if you start dating someone new or something like that, maybe like, we finally had sex or whatever. Like, maybe like
they got a piercing. Would you tell them that?
No, I don't think not details or anything like that. Really, no.
Huh.
I'm more private, I guess. I'm not big on details of like my sex life. You don't need to know all that shit.
I literally knew what my friends' boyfriends' penises looked like from description when we were teenagers.
You could pick them out of a lineup.
Well, one of them we nicknamed Captain Hook. And the other one I got smacked because I mentioned that, he was large in front of people. That was not apparently a smart thing to do. So
I'm sure he hated that.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't care.
Yeah.
Well, no, she was yelling at him because he answered the door in his underwear, and to get the pizza. And I was like, "What? He doesn't have anything to be sorry or be ashamed of, according to you, or something like that." And then she started beating me up, like she shoved me into a wall and started kicking and punching me.
Wow, that's a huge reaction.
Yeah,
that's as big of a reaction as his penis.
But, so, I mean, I guess some people are more private than others. I don't know.
Anyway, but, so he's discussing it and everything. He talks to Donna about it.
Yeah, this is where this show is really fucked up.
Yeah.
Because these are two people who were in love and had sex.
Yeah.
And probably really should be together.
Yeah.
But the show acts like this is a totally normal conversation and nobody's going to be jealous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
No one wants to hear about the sex their ex is having.
Yeah. And she talks to Donna about it too, I believe. The girlfriend, because they're working in the Now Wear This.
I don't think she talks to her about their sex.
No, okay.
I don't think so.
Well, anyway, he how does he find out
How does who find out what?
David. I think it's from talking to Donna. That's how he finds out.
Oh,
about
yeah.
the fur thing. Because he's like, he says something to her about it or whatever, and she's like, what? Furs? We were talking about furs.
Right. So then he thinks it's funny or whatever and tells the girl.
Well, he has a radio, like they're at the radio station together, and he's like, hey, this is the topic is the stupidest like misconceptions you had about a significant other. And then he's talking to the girl off air, and he's like, I'll tell you mine, and he describes like the whole thing. And then he talks about how like he told Steve about it, and like he told Donna about it, and she's like, what the fuck? She's so angry.
Yeah, I would be too. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm okay with talking to, like, your bestest friend about something, but not everybody.
Well, I guess Steve is his best friend. But he shouldn't have talked to Donna about it.
He definitely should not have talked to Donna.
So she gets all pissed and storms off. Then later, Donna, like, helps apologize for him or whatever and stuff like that.
Which would never happen.
And he's all, like, upset and stuff. She shows up in a fur coat. I mean, it's obvious when she comes in there that she's got nothing on underneath the fur coat. Mm-hmm. So it's that classic situation of the woman showing up with a trench coat. It's like, no woman is walking into your house in a trench coat, like totally closed if she's not naked underneath there. And she's like...
how many times does that happen to you?
It doesn't matter. So she's...
I knew it.
Twice. But she's like... You've never played Sexy Detective?
No, I have.
Oh, how many times have you done that?
Once.
With a trench coat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You'll have to tell me about that later.
No.
All right. She so she walks in and stuff, and she's like, oh, I forgive you or whatever, like I understand and blah blah blah. And then she opens up the coat, and she's wearing lingerie.
Actually, just bra and underwear.
Yeah.
I would have been expecting either naked or a sexy nightie, but just a bra and underwear. I mean, she's a very hot woman, so it really doesn't matter what she's wearing. You don't?
So? I don't not particularly, no. I think it's the short hair.
Well, yeah, I don't love her hair.
She has short crop blonde hair. If her hair was longer, I think she'd be hotter.
But she's got a beautiful face and a decent body.
Yeah.
Anyway, her and David are still together. I keep waiting for them to break up so he can get with Donna, but it hasn't happened yet.
No, who knows? It's probably never going to happen. And then we have the main event, which is Dylan.
This is, like you said, this is dumb.
Real quick, I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on this because there's one other thing that involves Donna, and it's Noah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Being a drunk.
Yeah, so Janet and Steve are trying to set Donna up.
With dimples.
Yeah. Dimples.
Some dude with dimples.
Yeah. They, like, twist her arm and, they're like, throw a dinner party so she can meet the guy.
This is the stupidest thing, too, and it's one of those things where it's like Tori Spelling really thinks she's a gifted comedian, and she is not. But she's like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to do this. This is so dumb and whatever. He's a printer because he's like a printer for their newspaper or whatever, the rag they put out. And he shows up with his dimples and everything and smiles at her and walks off to the dining room to get ready for dinner. And she turns, like, she's just been like, oh, I don't want to. And then she's like, do you think he wants to have 2 kids or 3? And it's like, that's not funny.
Well, it's not like she wrote the line.
I know, but the way she delivers it's also not funny. Nothing is funny about it.
Yeah, it was dumb. I don't like this show
so corny
anymore.
And stupid.
But yeah, so she's all into him because he's hot. He literally just said hello to her. Mm-hmm. Like, now she's like, I want to have his babies. Like, how pathetic does that make you sound? Come on.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
But while they're having dinner, Noah comes in. Drunk off his ass. Sits down at somebody's place at the table because he sure as hell didn't have one.
Starts drinking wine.
Drinks their whole glass of wine.
Thanks for the invite, he says.
Like, what the hell, dude?
You have to be invited to everything?
Apparently.
But apparently he keeps harassing and calling Donna because obviously he wants her back. And he's like, he's going through something right now because he almost died.
Yeah. So she's like being there for him because she says he was there for her when her dad died, which like we didn't really see that.
Yeah, I'm not really.
But yeah, so she's been spending a lot of time talking to him, and
David keeps telling her, "You don't need to. Stop talking to him."
Yeah, well, that would be the smart thing. And then later, at the table, she says to this new guy, she's like, "Hey, I've been having a really nice time." Mm-hmm. But I've got to deal with this friend now. He really needs me, but, call me or whatever. It's like, I would never call her.
But he does, and they go to the club, and she's like, I've been thinking about my friend Noah. He's supposed to be working here, and he's not here now, and, like, I'm so worried about him and all this stuff and everything. And they're like, the guy's like, oh, I'm not mad at you. My only mistake was thinking you were available. And she's like, yeah, I'm not, It's like, what?
That's stupid.
Emotionally, she's not available because she's still wrapped up in Noah's bullshit.
Donna. So then they hear somebody, trying to break into the house in the middle of the night at the Malibu Barbie beach house.
Yeah.
And it was obvious that it was Noah.
But he does crash through the window.
He does. I think he passed out. I think he was standing in front of the window and passed out and fell through the window.
Well, Matt hits him with a baseball bat.
Yeah, but not in the head.
No, in the stomach, but he falls and hits the back of his head on the ground.
Yeah, and he is out. So I don't know if he passed out from alcohol or head trauma or both, but it's not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like why did he crash through the window? I wish we could have seen the other side of that. Like, what happened out there?
Maybe he was listening to Melissa Etheridge at the time. Come through my window!
Do you think he'll die?
I hope so.
Me too.
I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan is hanging out with Steve a lot. And it's because Steve's not getting laid, I guess.
Yeah.
And Steve turns to... This is like the most... It's one of those like incredible coincidences. He's just flipping around channels and he sees the news. There's some plane that was forced to make an emergency landing at LAX, and they show passengers coming off, and it's Dylan's dad.
Now, first of all, are they really going to have a camera trained on people walking off of a plane? That seems weird.
Yeah, that seems weird. And second of all, if you were in hiding because you faked your own death... Do you think, maybe you would avoid your face being photographed?
Right, just turn away from the camera, sir. But no, full on.
He's right at the front of the fucking line. He might as well have been standing next to the reporter. And somehow, they just see this live report. Somehow, Dylan has the wherewithal to pop a tape into the VCR and hit record because he has a recording of it.
I suspect... Because I gave this some thought because it made no sense. That he used his millions of dollars to get a recording from the studio.
Oh, yeah, that's possible.
Because I don't think that you'd have just recording capability in a hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So he wants the name. They fucking go to the airport and talk to a counter guy. Not even a manager. Just to a counter guy. And it's like, hey, remember that plane that emergency landed? We want the manifest. We want the list of every passenger on there. He's like, I can't do that. He's like, well, what the fuck good are you for then? And he's like, I don't know. Next. It's ridiculous.
He's so hostile.
There are so many laws against that, and they just expect Dylan just expects, because he's a rich guy, he just expects to show up places and make people do things for him.
Yeah, I don't know when that happened. He was always rich.
Yeah.
But he wasn't always so entitled acting.
He goes to the FBI, and he's like, I want to meet with Christine or whatever. And she's like, you need an appointment. And he's like, yeah, fucking I don't. Tell her that what's his name? McKay's son's here. I can't remember his first name. Jim?
I think Jim, yeah. That's what I was thinking, too.
Jim, I know, was Walsh. Jim Walsh. But
Jack
McKay. Jack McKay. And so, anyway, she's like, she does it. And from 4 seasons ago, they got her back.
Yep.
She comes out, the FBI agent lady, and she's like, what's up? I still miss boning your dad.
Yeah, and it's a weird conversation. She, swears up and down that no, his dad's really dead.
I believe her. I believe that she believes that.
But he brought her the recording, and like you said, if she watched it, she should know.
Well, she watched it. She should at least have some questions,
right?
Like, how well could he have covered his tracks?
Oh, apparently well enough.
But putting him into witness protection because the whole mob thing and everything makes a lot of sense too. Mm-hmm. And maybe the FBI did it, but they hid it from her.
Maybe because she was sleeping with him.
Yeah, maybe she was like, maybe it's on a need to know basis, and she it was covered up by them. I don't know. But anyway, so the only other thing of like real importance that happens is that apparently he has a storage unit with all like his dad's old papers and stuff like that, and it's been burglarized.
Mm-hmm. But then they're like, "Oh, somebody broke in like 13 weeks ago." Like, why?
3 weeks ago.
Oh, whatever. They didn't. Why didn't somebody tell him though?
Well, yeah, we were watching, and she's like, somebody broke in like 3 weeks ago. Several other lockers were broken into, and I said, and I'm like, and the police don't notify you or relock your locker or anything. Like, that's just how that works. That's how investigations work.
It was just left unlocked after 3 weeks. That makes no sense.
Nobody notifies you. Ridiculous.
So, then he does obtain a list of passengers.
Kelly gets it as the last thing she does before she quits the PR firm, because it just so happens her PR firm does PR for the airline, and they're able to privately pressure them to give a list. Like, what? This is all dumb and illegal.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
But anyway, there's a name, Eddie Waitkus, and apparently that's, as I alluded at the beginning, is the real name of the guy Roy Hobbs in The Natural is based on. And, so his dad loved baseball. They're big baseball people. And he knows that's his dad then.
So now he's got to look for Eddie Waitkus, who will be his dad now.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yep.
I remember his screaming Muppet head in that episode.
Yes.
And, like, the fact that he was put through that kind of trauma and his dad wasn't really dead is so unfair. I'd be so mad.
Yeah. To have to cry like a Muppet and your dad not be dead, yeah. Oh, my goodness. But that is the episode for the week, Carol.
It is.
Tell people where they can find their own fictional baseball name.
You can write us at latefee1994@aol.com.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.